It is 16th of July 2026 and I've just come out to sit at the park and record this video because I was again falling into that deep pit of thinking that my life is not interesting enough, or my videos are not that great, and why would anybody be watching these silly little videos, etc., etc., etc. And I just wanted to remind myself of the reasons why I started this account and why I'm posting these videos. It is absolutely not for the views or for validation or for anything else, but it's for me. It is to record it as an archive, a digital journal, to know what I did during this time when I had the time to do anything I could, instead of falling into that despair of where is my life going and blah 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 and blah blah blah. I don't want to bore myself with all of this talk. Instead, I want to make the most out of this time, because there used to be a time when I would think, who is able to come here at the park at like 11 a.m. in the morning on a Thursday? And now here I am, and I'm loving it, to be honest. I mean, I can't say I don't like it. I think unemployment is suiting me, and I'm loving it a bit too much. Alhamdulillah, for the privilege of being able to survive, that not many people have, and I do not take it for granted, trust me. Yeah, so I bought this embroidery hoop set, which is a DIY thing, and I've been wanting to do embroidery since a really long time. I have like half finished projects, so many of those that are there at my home, but I just did not feel like picking up any of those. So I bought this €2 DIY embroidery kit from Action, and I intend to do this, and let's see how much of it I'm able to get done with in one sitting, or maybe a few. And yeah, let's open the embroidery kit and see what we have. I'm not sure if the design is already there on the piece of cloth, but if it's not, I only have a pen. Okay, so we have the cloth, we have the embroidery hoop, and we have the needle, and we have the threads, but we don't have the design on paper. So this is what we have freehand, and now I think I'm going to put the thread through the needle and then we can start. I don't think it's bad. I think I did a pretty good job, like, right? Reviewing this so far, I think it is really bad, precisely because I did not separate the thread, but and it's quite slow as well. I did not think it would be this slow, but we're gonna go through with this white thread, and then for the rest of the flowers, I think I'm gonna start with the flowers after I'm done with this one, because this is too much, and I think the flowers would I'd be able to complete them a lot more faster than this. So yeah, and for the flowers I'm gonna try to even separate the threads, so let's see how that goes. While doing this, I just felt like reflecting a little bit on this time that I'm having, because there's too many things that's happening. So if I'm I just want to talk about it, I would say that it's a great hobby to pick up. First of all, if you want to quieten your mind, because ever since I've started this like threading thing, I am kind of lost in it. I have to sometimes like look up and literally see what's happening around and who's sitting and who's passing by, and because people are walking their dogs. There's this guy who's sitting in front of me on a bench since like the last hour, and I'm kind of unaware of everything that's happening around me and also in my brain. Basically, the reason why I stepped outside the house was that I was feeling really anxious because I was expecting a call from a recruiter, and I did not want to spend the whole day staying anxious and like doom scrolling to make it even worse. So I decided that it's time to just step outside. So yeah, it's doing that for me, and I think, and I also want to really do the things that I thought I would do when I have the time, because you never have the time. I was really busy with my masters, my work student job, my daughter, my house. So every other part of me got the best of me at the time that I was able to provide, but I was not able to do the things that I wanted to do while slowing down a little bit. And now I finally have the chance to do that, so I really want to, because I know there's no point in getting anxious about what's gonna happen in the future. Will I get the job? Will I learn the language? Etc. etc. There's just too many things, and I know no amount of worrying is going to solve that. I've been in a situation like this about 3 years ago, where I spent the whole year being anxious and not living it. Instead, I was constantly worrying and constantly rethinking the ifs and buts. What if I'd done that? What if I'd done this? And there's never an end to all of those ifs and buts. So I really just want to trust the universe. I want to trust Allah's plan. I know that He's the best of planners, and I know that if things did not work out the way I wanted them to work out, they would work out in the best way possible, like in the way that I cannot even ever imagine for myself, because that's what has always happened for me, alhamdulillah. Like I can never say, I can't quote any incident where I wanted something to happen and I did not get exactly that or better than that. So I mean, I have no reason to worry, as someone who has always figured it out, or as someone who has always received the best. I don't think I should. I mean, it would be a disservice to my tawakkul if I continue to stay worried and not surrender to the best of planners. So here I am once again, not sure about where I'm going. This is not what I expected my 32 to look like, but life is full of surprises, and I'm here for it, actually, because it's only getting better. I love where my life is heading, alhamdulillah. And yeah, I mean, it's not that I don't get anxious or I don't get worried. I get worried sick because things are out of my control, of course, but I need to continue to remind myself of all the things that I just said. And if you also need a reminder, let this be a sign that you don't have to worry about a single thing that is out of your control. Of course, we need to do whatever we can to change our situation in the way that we want to change it, and then we need to leave and surrender and let it go and wait for the universe to do its part. And Yeah, pray, of course, alongside, because there is literally nothing that I have ever achieved in my life that is without the grace of Allah Ta'ala. Like I don't have anything, any quality, anything that I could have used without His grace. So always. Just an update, guys. I was almost about to give up, but you see how bad this is. But then, do you see how it's getting better? So maybe it was a psychological block that this whole block, I just continued to ruin it because I was like, okay, it's ruined already. But then in this one, I tried really to be aware of where I'm putting the needle in and where I'm taking it out from. So I think it's quite cleaner. And yeah, I'm liking it now, but I'm a little tired and I didn't think it would take this long and I'm a little hungry. So yeah. This is my view, and I love the sound of the trees. I don't know if you can see if there's a pigeon. Yeah, you can see it now. So cute. Hi guys, so this is the second session update. The back part looks nice, the front part looks nice, but I was only able to make these three flowers in like an hour and a half or two. It was more like it required more time than I had expected. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do the rest tomorrow and not rush it. And let's see. Hi, so I am finally done with the whole thing, and I just have a few things that I thought of along the way that I thought I would just share, because this was probably the first embroidery hoop that I have finished properly. I have some reflections, just some quick ones. First of all, it will take you a lot longer than you think it will. Like you will see at the like the design, and you would think that okay, it might take me a few hours or maybe like two sittings. But trust me, especially if you are a beginner like I am, it might take you a lot longer, even if it's a small piece, because it takes a lot of patience. And secondly, it might or might not work with your anxiety. Like if you're somebody who's anxious and who wants to like, get into hobbies so that it helps with your anxiety, like, a lot of people start coloring, a lot of people get into knitting or, other creative crafts. It might or might not work. Because for me, like, there were times when I wanted to be really specific about where I'm putting the needle through and where I'm taking it out from, and if it looks fine or if it doesn't look fine. So there were little times where I was just like, oh my god, like I just need to finish this. So yeah. Thirdly, if you're somebody who's struggling with doom scrolling and somebody who's struggling with a lot of phone usage, like random apps, this is for you, definitely, because it kept me off of my phone for guaranteed amount of times when if I was doing something else, I definitely would have checked at least many times. But honestly, like while I was embroidering, I was literally so focused that I did not care about what's happening on Instagram, who has updated who, what, etc. Fourthly, time will fly. Like you will sit at, for example, 8 p.m. and you would think that okay, I'm just gonna embroider for like an hour. And generally, if I sit to do anything else, I'm usually checking my phone in intervals, like, and it would be like 10 minutes, 15 minutes since I started the activity. Honestly, with embroidery, um, there were times when I did not check my phone at all, and when I did, it was an hour or like an hour and a half since I had started. So definitely time will fly, and you will not imagine that, this much time has passed since you started. And finally, number five, um, it will look a lot prettier once the whole thing is done, definitely. So please do not give up if you're somebody like me and who wants results ASAP. I'm gonna finally show you what I made. So this is the whole final um, piece, and this is how it looks. I think I did a pretty good job. I will also show you. Um, this is basically what I was supposed to do. I think it is pretty close. I obviously did not care about the colors of the flowers. I just chose them randomly. But yeah, like when I started it, when I was in the park, honestly, and when I started it, I hated this white one at the bottom that I started off with. And this is what the back looks like, dude. Like, whatever. So yeah, I hated this box, and I was this close to giving up the whole thing. I thought, maybe this is not for me. And but I obviously continued, and then you know what I did actually? I stopped doing this, and instead then I moved on to the flowers. I think this is the first flower that I made, and I think I did a pretty cool job with that. I also tried 2 to 3 different styles in this. Like one was a normal line stitch, and then this, I don't know the names actually. I just saw them here and there. So this one, and then this is simple. This is probably backstitch, the magenta one over here, and this is random. So yeah, I think it will look very pretty once the whole thing is done. If you're somebody who's getting into embroidery, I would definitely say getting into embroidery. What I mean by that is just, if you want to check it out as a hobby, as something that you would like to do to get your mind off of things and to explore new hobbies, I would definitely say give it a shot. I don't think it's too bad, and I think I'm gonna go and get myself another embroidery hoop really soon. Or maybe I don't even need another DIY box because I already have this and I can just use random paper. I already drew it myself, so I did not trace it as well. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. I hope I am able to do another embroidery project real soon. Bye bye.